Hi, Mika. Are you finished clearing out your locker?
Almost. Can you wait a bit?
Of course. Take your time. How was your first year at a Canadian high school?
It was about what I expected. I watched a fair amount of American TV, so that helped prepare me.
Isn't that like using anime to learn about the Japanese school system? From what you've shown me, they tend to exaggerate for the sake of drama.
Are you talking about the overpowered student council and love club? I guess that's a valid concern.
Another thing that's bugged me is the number of beach episodes. Is there any point to them, other than putting the girl characters in bikinis?
It's better not to think about that too hard, Susan. It is what it is.
I take it you've been to the beach, Mika.
Yep, plenty of times. Tokyo's a coastal city, so it was difficult not to. What about you?
Well, I haven't gone too often. I've been to Guelph Lake a few times, but I was never crazy about going there.
That's a lake, though. Haven't you been to the ocean?
Mika, you're forgetting that we live hundreds of kilometers inland. The first time I saw the ocean was during my flight to Japan last year.
Oh, well, that's sad.
Sad? How is that sad?
It's sad that you've never experienced the ocean. I thought everyone had.
Beep beep, let me through, slowpokes!
Hey! No pushing, Curly.
Oh, it's you two. Hi, I thought you were someone else.
And that suddenly makes it okay?
It's your fault for creating a bottleneck in the hallway. The rest of us actually want to go home. It's summer break.
Speaking of summer break, do you have any plans, Curly?
No, not really. I wouldn't mind going somewhere, but I don't really need to.
Ah, I know. Why don't we go on a road trip? Aimée, Belle, and Jane can come too.
Mika, you really...
Well, you won't get Jane, but I'm definitely up for it. Where exactly are you guys thinking?
The Maritimes, I guess. Nova Scotia or PEI, probably.
The Maritimes. That sounds nice. I'll be sure to bring my swimsuit. Oh, and you should call a meeting if you're really serious about this. That way we can iron out the details and figure out who can't come. Bye for now.
Bye,
Curly.
Curly.
It's not Curly! My name is... Tell you what, forget it. You guys aren't worth the trouble.
Susan?
Yes?
What are the Maritimes?
Oh, it's a collective term for New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island.
Thanks. That's very useful, actually.
We should get home. I don't know about you, but my bag of locker junk is getting heavy.
Mine is too. I guess Curly had a point.
You may be right, as scary as that sounds. Come on, let's get home. So, this is the place?
Yep, that's Jane's house.
I still find it strange that she invited us here. Amy, you told her that I was tagging along, right?
Yes, I did. The response I got was a long groan as she said fine under her breath.
Typical Jane.
Excuse me, I'm going to ring the doorbell.
It's about time. I was beginning to think I may forgot the address. Please, come in.
Jane, don't take this the wrong way, but you sound...
Yes, I've been getting that all week. I lost my voice. That's why I sound a little hoarse. Got it?
Okay, that's fair. What caused it? A cold?
I was in a play, if you must know. I practiced too much and wore out my own voice.
Wow! When did you start performing in plays, Jane?
It was just this one time. A member of the drama club sprained their ankle, and I filled in for them. Let's move past that and focus on why you're here. I understand Susan and Mika want to plan a summer trip.
Well, Mika's a lot more passionate about this than I am, but I guess that's accurate.
Wait, Mika's the one pushing this?
Yeah, a few days ago, Susan told me that she's never visited the ocean. I think that would be a nice trip for us to take.
Hang on a second. You haven't changed your Wi-Fi password, Jane? It's been 3 years.
What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, sorry, Jane. Google Maps directions. A trip to Halifax would take 14 hours, give or take.
That's not as bad as I thought. But what are we going to do out there?
Aren't we going swimming?
Well, of course. The trip just seems like a bit of a waste if we go only for that.
If you like, we can pair it with a camping trip. I may not look it, but I'm quite the outdoorsman. Woman.
You're an outdoors person?
Yes! What about that seems so unbelievable?
To steer the conversation back on track, Halifax isn't a good place to go camping. If we run with Curly's idea, we'll have to go somewhere else.
Well, obviously we can't go camping in a city. Campgrounds and national parks were probably our best bet.
Remember that we're going in the middle of the peak season, Aimée. This is all starting to get very expensive.
And what do you expect us to do about that, Belle? The prices are what they are.
Will the trip be cheaper if we went here instead? It's further north, but that means it's visited less, right?
You want to go to Labrador?
Is that what it's called?
Yes, it is. Going to Labrador would double our driving time. However, accommodations there are much cheaper. We'd be able to stay for longer. And there's a public beach. It's just a little north of Happy Valley Goose Bay.
I guess we are heading to Labrador. Any objections? Regarding costs, Aimée and I will cover for gas. Supplies, food, and accommodation should be split evenly between us. We should have enough cash if everyone brings $400.
That's all well and good, but how long are we staying? That's something my mom's going to want to know right away.
I say a week and a half tops. Any longer and I think we'll get bored.
10 days then? That will give us 2 days to drive there, 6 days to enjoy ourselves, and 2 days to drive back.
I agree with Susan about getting bored, so 10 days sounds good.
Alright, we should call our parents now and make sure they're okay with this. I already mentioned this to my dad, but he wanted more information.
Aren't you all forgetting something?
Like what?
How many of us are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
And how many seats does Emmy's car have?
5.
Exactly. A pretty obvious oversight, don't you think?
Jean, I speak for everyone when I say this is an accident. We can fix this. All we have to do is rent a bigger...
Oh, Mika, I appreciate the thoughts, but it doesn't matter. It isn't possible to rent another car. Amy's too young, she doesn't have her full license yet, and this would be an absurd number of kilometers to put on a rental vehicle. Besides, I don't actually want to go. I only played along to humor you.
Well, let us know if you ever change your mind. We'll keep you updated via text message.
If you really feel that's necessary.
Okay, guys, I think Jane's in one of those moods now. We should leave her alone.
Come on, Mika.
Oh, right. Bye, Jean.
Aimée? Belle?
Hi, Mrs. Laporte. It's been a long time.
It sure has. And who are you three?
I'm Susan.
I'm Mika.
And I'm Blair Candle.
Never mind them. It's just some petty squabbling.
It's fine. I'm just happy you and your sister are on speaking terms with Jane again. You became so distant after Louise died. Sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up. Have a nice day, all of you. I'm home.
Yeah, I know. I could hear you talking to them on the sidewalk.
Why didn't you tell me they were coming? I could have bought some chips and trail mix.
It wasn't a social visit, Mom. They wanted to plan a summer trip, and I offered to host it.
Oh, does that mean?
No, I'm not going with them. The idiots forgot that their 5-seat crossover doesn't have enough space for me.
Jane, you remember your dad's pickup truck, right? It has 6 seats.
So what? You sold it off when he passed away.
Correction. I tried to sell it. You might recall that it's a 2001 model. No one would take it for more than $4,000, so I kept it for sentimental value.
Why is this the first I've heard of this?
Well, I considered telling you, but I thought it would be a nice surprise for whenever you get your license.
Where's the truck now?
Your grandparents' house. My parents have been driving it occasionally to make sure the engine and brakes don't seize up. So, what about it? I can get the truck back for you and your friends to go on this trip.
Driving to Labrador and back in a 20-year-old truck? Doesn't that sound a little stupid? What if we break down?
I didn't realize you were going as far as Labrador. Well, that's just the risk you're going to have to take. Everything will be okay, as long as one of you has a CAA membership.
It doesn't matter. I'm still not going.
Jane, this whole time I've been under the impression that you wanted to go on this trip. Have I been mistaken?
Mom, my presence wouldn't be welcome. Aimée is slowly warming up to me, but there's still a lot of friction between us.
Jane, I didn't ask what Aimée thinks. I asked what you think. Do you want to go?
Bonjour, c'est Belle.
Bonjour, Belle. My mom has a solution to the seating problem. Can you guys turn around?
We need to get going, Susan. Aimée just arrived.
Give me a minute, Mika. I don't want to forget anything.
Okay, I'll be outside.
Hi, Mika. How are you doing?
Hi, Alex. I'm doing good. Are you here to see Curly off?
Yes, and you too. You'll be gone for 10 days, so I thought I should say bye in person.
I wish you could come too.
Don't worry. I know there's only 6 seats. I get it. This is also obviously a girls' trip, so I wouldn't feel comfortable anyway.
Alex.
If you really feel bad about this, then pick me up a souvenir and we'll call ourselves
Excuse
even.
me, lovebirds? Stop blocking the tailgate. Mika, your suitcase?
Right. I'm on it.
I'm here.
About time. Hurry up. We're already running behind.
Relax, Jane. A 10-minute delay never hurt anyone.
So, do we have a seating plan, or...?
Not really. We should just sit where we...
No. If we do that, the cab is going to get crammed. We need to think about this logically. Aimée is the driver. so she stays where she is. I am the tallest, so I get the passenger seat.
That totally isn't biased.
And Susan and Belle are the next tallest, so they get the left and the right back seats.
Okay.
Lastly, Mika and Curly are the shortest, so they'll get the middle seats.
I guess that's not so bad. Step aside, Jane. I'm sitting in front.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
That was great. I pulled that off flawlessly.
For the last time, no, you're not. I'm not sitting beside you for the entire...
Jane, was it? It's clear to me that, like the rest of us here, your relationship with Curly is... strained, to put it nicely. That being said, you're the one who's the problem right now, not her. Can you not swallow your pride and try sitting together?
I agree with Alex. You two need to get along, and I'd rather sit in the back with Susan.
Jane, you don't have to listen to them. I don't really care, honestly.
But Curly, they're right. I've fallen back into my old habits. It's true sometimes you deserve an amount of hostility, but this isn't one of those times. Hop in.
Thanks, Jane.
Matane, Alex.
Matane, Mika-chan.
Okay, everyone better be done up. I'm pulling out now.
Mika Arekusu?
That's Alex's name written in katakana. I've been teaching him Japanese, and at some point it became a nickname.
Oh, is that it? I've been wondering about this too, but it didn't feel right to ask about it.
Well, now you know.
Dang it. I knew I forgot something. Well, could you set up the GPS on your phone?
Of course. Our first stop is in Montreal, right?
Yep, Montreal.
Montreal? I've been there before.
You have?
Yes, but very briefly. I came to Canada last year by flying to New York and riding the train through Montreal to Ottawa.
Why New York?
My parents work for All Nippon Airways, Curly. New York City is the closest their airline can take me.
They don't fly to Montreal or Toronto?
Unfortunately, no. The only Canadian city ANA flies to is Vancouver. They have a partnership with Air Canada, so maybe that has something to do with it.
That sounds plausible. They wouldn't want to step on each other's toes. Anyway, regarding GPS directions, you know how to get to Autoroute 50, Amy?
Of course I do. Are you saying that will get us to Montreal?
Yes, it'll be a straight shot there.
So, what are we going to do until then? Listen to music on our phones?
I hope not. We'll be spending the rest of today and most of tomorrow on the road. Our phones can only hold our attention for so long.
Well, if it isn't our lucky day. I thought about this last night.
You did?
Yep, I bought a deck of cards, a copy of Trivial Pursuit, my DS Lite, and my 3DS.
Wow, Curly. You were actually useful for once.
Hey, don't forget about Halloween. If it wasn't for me, Susan would have drowned.
Right.
Well, who's interested in the game of Crazy Eights? I know I am.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess.
Good idea, Mika. Let's do this. I'll deal.
NavenMaple.ca